Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Sports Medicine, offering services for sports injury and recovery, with physicians and athletic trainers who provide treatment for fractures, dislocations, sprains, strains, and other sports-related issues. More information on services at stalphonsus.org.
The Boise State Public Radio app. News, music, and more.
Idaho Matters.
Morning Edition.
All Things Considered.
The Connector.
And more.
And more.
You can take us wherever you go and stay connected. Without it, you're missing out. Download it free.
You can also communicate using the Talk to Us tab.
The Boise State Public Radio app.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's daily news. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. The debate over kratom hit the floor of the Idaho Senate today, and it was anybody's guess how it would be decided. We've got that story. Plus, we'll tell you how 4 Idaho communities will mark today as a Trans Day of Visbility. It is Tuesday, the 31st of March. Here we go with today's stories. A bill forcing local law enforcement to verify and report the immigration status and nationality of all suspects detained is now heading to the full Senate for its consideration. James Dawson reports.
The proposal from Senate Pro Tem Kelly Anthon would add these further responsibilities to the workload of local police and sheriff's offices. Canyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue was among several law enforcement officials who testified against the measure.
This puts us in a precarious situation where we're doing the job of someone else, a federal agent, and it's putting our law enforcement officers at risk of litigation and liability, which puts our cities and our counties in that same liability.
Opponents also worried the bill's language is too broad and could require them to verify someone's immigration status while simply detaining them like a traffic stop. Anthon says these concerns are false.
None of that's true. None of it. It's not what the bill says. Have to read the bill.
The proposal easily cleared a Senate committee and is headed to the floor for further debate. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
For the first time, a Trans Day of Visbility will take place in 4 different locations today in Idaho: Boise, Pocatello, Idaho Falls, and Twin Falls. Of course, the event, which is an international event, comes in the wake of Idaho House Bill 752, which bans trans people from using bathrooms that match their gender identity. The bill is on the governor's desk, where it will either be vetoed or become law. Trans Affirm Scar Rulin has helped organize some of the events in Idaho and says it's an important date for trans Idahoans to be visible.
It's scary how there has become a pipeline to imprisonment just for being trans. But I think in these moments, the best thing to do is stand up, fight back.
The legislation sitting on the governor's desk would carry a penalty of 1 year of jail time for a first violation. Each further violation carries a penalty of up to 5 years behind bars. We've learned that Boise Mayor Lauren McLean will speak in support of Trans Day of Visbility during today's City Council meeting, and that will get underway at 2:30 p.m. Kratom, the leaf-based product that is sold openly over the counter in Idaho, has become one of the most hotly debated topics of this year's legislative session. Some swear by it, insisting that it's some kind of gateway through their pain relief. Others curse it and what it has done to their friends and family. In fact, there have been kratom-related deaths here in Idaho. But what to do about it? Indeed, we've reported on some public hearings at the State House that lasted days. Some Idahoans were angry, a few cried. Legislators were left with 2 separate bills, one in the Idaho House that would ban the substance altogether, another which finally came before the full Senate yesterday, a bill that would allow so-called natural kratom to be sold, but only to adults, and then a ban of synthetic kratom. And support for that bill came from both Republicans and Democrats.
It's legal today, right now. You can buy it at Jackson's. We're just saying, hey, kids shouldn't be able to get this. That's what this bill does. We're saying 21 and older. That's what this bill does. So
it's been told to me very plainly that whatever's sitting over in the other chamber is not going anywhere. And so that's what I'm scared about.
We don't have a ban in front of us right now, and we're not going to. That's just the way it is.
Banning kratom will not stop kratom's use.
And there we heard from State Senators Brian Lenny, Melissa Wintrow, Tammy Nichols, and Phil Hart. But The debate against the proposed measure was steadfast. Here are some of the voices of dissent.
I mean, where are we going with this? Well, where we're going with this is a de facto way to legalize kratom by saying the higher potency stuff is bad, we don't want to deal with it, but the other stuff is okay. Let's just continue on.
It was heartbreaking to hear about the deaths that have happened in our area, and the heartbreak of the parents, and then for those autopsy reports to be dismissed. With that, I'll be voting against this.
Here's my concern. Right now, it hasn't been legalized. In other words, this legislature has not made a statement. It's just out there.
But just think about what we're dealing with here. Personally, I would like to see a total ban on a Schedule I on kratom. But that's not up for me to decide.
And there were Senators David Lent, Julie Van Orden, Scott Groh, and Ron Taylor. Then the vote across party lines and also across traditional allegiances, the vote was 20-15 to kill the measure. Trip Hutchinson is a Ketchum City councilman. He's well known for his straight talk during council meetings. He's served on the council since 2024, and this year he's also running for Congress. He's running as an independent, challenging incumbent Congressman Mike Simpson. But he's quick to add that he also wants to remain on the Ketchum City Council. Trip Hutchinson has also been charged with a crime. In fact, he's scheduled to be sentenced today. The alleged incident occurred last summer at the Haley Airport. Police said there is video footage showing Councilman Hutchinson approaching a display case inside the airport terminal. Police say he opened the display case and removed 3 posters. Footage also shows the stolen items being put into a vehicle outside the terminal. Hutchinson reportedly admitted to the airport director that he didn't agree with the company that was featured on the posters. The ads were for Palantir Technologies, one of the most valuable tech companies in the world because of its advanced data analytics and AI capabilities. Palantir also has multi-billion-dollar contracts with the U.S. Army. The initial charge of petty theft against Hutchinson carried a maximum penalty of up to a year in jail. Initially, Hutchinson said he was not guilty, and there was a jury trial scheduled for earlier this month. But the Mountain Express reports that Councilman Hutchinson has now agreed to a plea deal in exchange for a lesser sentence. When Hutchinson appears in a Blaine County courtroom later this morning, he's expected to announce a change of that plea and receive his sentence. The hearing is set for 11:30 this morning. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. Stay informed, stay connected. We've got you covered at BoiseStatePublicRadio.org and on the Boise State Public Radio app. We'll be back here on Wednesday. I hope you will too. Thanks for listening.
Hey, podcast listener, quick question, since you are probably, most likely, on your phone right now. Do you use the Nextdoor app? Because if you do, Boise State Public Radio is now on there too, sharing our trusted local news and Idaho stories right in your neighborhood feed. So the same place you check in on your community can now keep you informed. Just open the Nextdoor app, search Boise State Public Radio, and tap follow.